Hello, and welcome to PPE in academic year 2026-27. My name is Dr. Stefan Andreasson, and I'm the advisor of studies for the PPE degree. So if this is your first year, welcome onto the degree. And if you're going into second and third year, welcome back. I'll have a set of quite brief and hopefully informative little video recordings on each of the subsequent slides that sort of go over the nature of the degree, what you'll be doing, and a few things to think about as we're getting closer to the start of term. So please follow along for that. Thank you. Okay, so as I mentioned, I am your advisor of studies for the PPE degree. My role is basically, I think, as a point of call for issues to do with selecting modules to figure out how you navigate throughout the 3 years in terms of what's required each year and what is optional. And as those options increase, what might be the best modules for you given your specific interests. So that, in a very general sense, is my role as your advisor of studies. You will also have been assigned a personal tutor by the school. That is probably someone else. It could be me as well. I also have students who are my personal tutees. And that's a distinct role from advisor of studies. Your personal tutor is usually your first point of call for any primarily pastoral issues, things that arise, problems you're having, whatever it may be. Please do get in touch with any issues like that with your personal tutor. They're there for a reason. They're there to help you and to guide and support you. And where a personal tutor can't deal with a very specific issue, they will be in a place to point you in the right direction in terms of where else in the school or in the university you should go to get the information and the support that you need. So keep that in mind. I am the advisor of studies, largely to do with module choices and the like. And your personal tutor is a pastoral role largely and usually your first point of call. For more module-specific issues, so specific queries about the content, nature of assessment, and so on any module you're thinking about signing up for or that you're currently taking, that module convener, right, the leader for that module will be your first point of call. They're very often your lecturers as well on that module, so you'll know who they are. Okay. The key is, things happen during the course of a degree. We do want to support you. We want you to have a really good experience doing the PPE and we want you to be successful. So please keep that in mind and just don't hesitate to get in touch. It's always better to ask a bit too much than to not have the information to make your best choices. Okay? And the final thing to mention is there's also a PPE program convener. This is largely an administrative role, and it's probably not someone in the general run of the semester that you need to be contacting, but that is Dr. Mike Bourne, and he is, of course, available should you for some reason need to contact him about the PPE degree more generally. So this brings us to module choices, which again is one of my key roles as advisor of studies to advise you about. And here I just want to go through very quickly the options that you have across the 3 years of your degree. So coming into first year, level 1, you will be taking 5 compulsory modules, 3 from economics, 1 from philosophy, and 1 from politics. This is to give you a appropriate grounding across the 3 disciplines that comprise the PPE degree. You then have 1 optional module in second semester that will be either from politics or philosophy. So that means your first year in terms of scheduling is pretty straightforward. 5 compulsory modules and 1 optional one that you pick yourself, okay, to fulfill the standard 6 modules across the 2 semesters. Then in second year, your options open up somewhat. You still have to take 3 compulsory modules, 1 from each of the 3 disciplines, politics, philosophy, and economics. And then you will take 3 optional modules as you see fit and in terms of what is available in that specific year. Do keep in mind in second year that some modules are prerequisites for modules you may want to take in final year, such as the dissertation. This will be clearly outlined in your pathway diagram, but if you have any concerns about this or aren't quite clear on this, please feel free to get in touch. Because if you don't take those prerequisites, of course, that cannot be rectified once you get to third year. Okay? And then finally, in third year, there are 3 different paths to completing the modules you need for fulfilling your degree requirements. The first and maybe most straightforward option is simply to take 6 modules across the 2 semesters like in previous years. If you go for this option, keep in mind that you have to take at least 1 module from each of the 3 disciplines. So at least 1 economics, 1 politics, and 1 philosophy module. The other 3 can be spread across the disciplines or concentrated into 1, however you see fit and depending on what's available. Okay. Another option is to do the dissertation, which is a double-weighted module, meaning that it counts for 2. So if you do the dissertation, you will take it plus 4 additional optional modules. Here you need to keep in mind that of those 4 modules, you have to take modules from at least 2 of the 3 disciplines. Okay? And similarly, should you choose to sign up for and be successful in obtaining a place on the long placement, that is also a double-weighted module like the dissertation. So if you go this route, it means you take the long placement plus 4 optional modules, and again from at least 2 of the 3 subjects that make up the discipline. So those are your options in third year. So finally, I want to mention a few additional issues to keep in mind for third year, the final year of your degree. So I've mentioned the placement briefly. We have 2 different types of placements. There's a short placement and a long placement. And as indicated by the names, the short placement involves spending fewer hours with your place of placement in addition to academic work. And that counts like any other module, that counts for 1 module. Or you can do the long placement, which involves more work each week at your place of placement, a longer project and so on, and that is double weighted like the dissertation. So as it turns out, the convener for the placements is myself, so I will communicate to you, and so will the HAP Experience team, relevant information ahead of the semester for those of you who are thinking about going for the placements. I would say this is something you should really consider. I think it is a valuable addition to your degree. Students really seem to enjoy the various placements that we have. But I should also mention it is a quite competitive process. You have to fulfill certain requirements in terms of academic standing. There's an interview process, and you are not guaranteed to get a placement should you choose to apply for it. But it is really something to keep in mind. And again, I'm the convener of the placements. Feel free to get in touch, and there will be more detailed and specific information communicated about the placements by myself and by the HAP Experience team. So that's one thing to keep in mind for final year. The other point is that many of you do end up doing a dissertation. Again, there is a module convener for the dissertations that will be in touch in due course with information. What I would just say briefly is that any academic currently available in the school can supervise dissertations, including myself. And you should really start thinking towards the end of second year about what that topic may be and who may be an appropriate supervisor for you. And I would suggest at the end of second year, or at the very latest going into the first week of third year, you contact who you think might be an appropriate supervisor to see if they're able to supervise you. You might have a couple of people in mind. Because given work allocation and other commitments and so on, it is not guaranteed that the person you think would be a good supervisor will be able to take on that role. Okay, but again, the module convener for the dissertations will be in touch about this. Final point to mention is study abroad. This is really something that's possible in second year as well, but most students and all PPE students would go in third year, in first semester of third year. So you would need to think about this early on at the beginning of second year. Again, there is a study abroad coordinator in the school, that is Dr. Bezuna Yimenu. He will communicate relevant information to you, and there may well be additional information from the university's Go Global team on the various options for studying abroad. Again, because of core requirements in second year, PPE students normally study abroad for 1 semester, and that is the first semester of third year. And again, you will have more information on that. I would say it is a very, very valuable addition to your degree. We have access to the Erasmus scheme, which involves lots of options to study across Europe in English. And we also have study abroad options in the United States primarily, but also Canada, Australia, and further afield. But again, Dr. Bezuna Yimenu is the person to get in touch about study abroad options. So that's it for now. So thank you very much for listening. Again, I wish you a really, really good year ahead on the PPE degree. And if there's anything that I can do for you in my role as advisor of studies, just get in touch. My email is s.andreasson@qub.ac.uk, and you'll find me on the school's web pages as well. Thank you.